spell of cold, icy winter weather had hit Scotland, and I was certainly glad of the winter tyres on the car driving up to this car park. The ice and the snow on the ground certainly made the driving conditions a bit testing. And when I arrived, the wind was whistling down the glen, and it was icy cold. Getting the kit on wasn't much fun at all. But before long, I got everything ready and off I set, trying to warm my body temperature up, as it was blooming freezing. Off I set, and although it was still relatively dark, the snow on the ground and the full moon gave a lot of light, which aided progress, and I didn't need my head torch. But it was cold, and I'd chosen the initial part of my route to be in the lee of the wind, and it certainly was. It was a bit more calm down here, and I was also getting the benefit of watching the sunrise from the side of the hill. But I tell you what, it was -5 at the car, and it felt even colder out here, especially when any of the winds hit you. It was time to stop and have a nice warm coffee. Good morning. What a beautiful, beautiful morning it is. I've just watched the sun rise to the south, and as you can probably see, it's cold. It's very cold. When I left the car, it was saying -5, and I really, really didn't want to leave the car because there was an icy wind blowing, funneling through that part. And yeah, as soon as I opened the door, it was freezing. So I've got 2 jackets on, 2 base layers, and a nice hot coffee today. I've got a thermos flask with me. But yeah, I'm actually heading up here, and that's called Stonefield Hill. And I'm going to be heading round and up the top there and round Blue Crag. So it'll be interesting. I think some of you will know exactly where I am, but a lot of you might never have heard of that. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, but it is to be cold. The forecast suggests with the wind chill, it's going to feel about -10, -11 up there. So hence why I've got the goggles on, the hat, the 2 jackets and what have you. But I'm just going to sit here where it's relatively less windy. And I'm just watching the sun coming up behind you. It's absolutely glorious. So yeah, nice wee coffee for getting the brain ticking before I start the ascent up this snowy mountain. After enjoying my warm cup of coffee, I sat for a bit longer and just watched the sun lighting up the hills around me. It was a lovely, lovely morning, albeit super cold. And I soon set about heading across the moorland, looking to find the ATV track that would aid my progress in ascending the first hill, Stonefield Hill. And before long I found myself on this track, and it was lovely. It was a lot easier than the deep snow and heather which I'd been going across. And yeah, I was gaining height with some lovely views down over the lowlands of Scotland. A winter wonderland it was at this time too. Wow, getting a great view now. I don't know if you can make out. Let me just take these goggles off. Woo. Yeah, I'm higher up in the hill now on Stonefield Hill. You probably can't see the summit from the camera angle, but there is an ATV track winding its way up, which is helping me a lot because there is a bit of snow, wind-blown snow, shall we say. But you can see my route now up and over the top of Stonefield Hill and then round Blue Crags, and you can see those crags. Because they're south facing, the sun's got to them, and they're about the only bit of the landscape that doesn't have snow in them, where it's heated up. And my route goes round the top of the crags, drops down to the Bealach, and then up to the high point there. And it's actually the walk back down which has got the best views, and there's a specific reason, and that's why I've done this in an anti-clockwise direction. But yeah, it's not getting any warmer. There's some clouds rolling in from the north, and that's forecast to bring in snow later on. So I'm gonna get moving and see if I can get around before the bad weather hits. Right, let's go. Whoa, well, I'll tell you, I'm glad of this cairn. This is me on Stonefield Hill now, and there's this big cairn, which is about the only bit of shelter I could find. It's that -10 wind chill is certainly living up to its forecast. It's bloody freezing in the wind. It's cold out in the wind as well, and although we're not that high here in relative terms for the Scottish mountains, we're about, I think it's about 600, not 600, it's about 750, 800 metres round about here. And there are higher areas, but these areas are pretty savage when there's winds because there's not that many places to shelter. You know, once you get up in the high moorland here, there's not that many crags up here to hide away from the wind at, and the wind can whistle across the plateau like it is at the moment. Anyway, I've stopped, had a wee bit more coffee. That's actually freezing up now on the inside. And yeah, it's pretty hard work. There's no, well, there might be trails up here, but if they are, they're covered in snow and there's been nobody up here, so I'm breaking trails, so it's taking me a bit longer to get to this point. Hopefully once I get back round to the other summit, there might be footsteps in the trail down to the loch and back to the car. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. And I'm going to stop yapping now and get my buff on, get the goggles back on, and see if I can get round this round of the quarry. Oh man. So at this point, this is where the really hard work began. From the first summit I was heading across pathless terrain and through peat hags, and there's a few ups and downs over some extra hills like this one here. This was about 760, 770 metres high, and there was 2 or 3 of these that I had to negotiate on my way around to the final summit that you can see here on the horizon. And it wasn't cold, and the deep snow was certainly, it was slowing me down. The trail breaking was tough work, and I reckon I could easily add 2 hours on to what this would normally take me in the summer. After what seemed like an age trudging through the snow and the heather against that biting northerly wind, I was soon approaching the final summit of the round. Another big cairn, very similar to the first one. I was glad to get some shelter behind it. Well, oh man, it's still cold. Oh, I can hardly speak with this on, hold on. Hopefully you can hear me now. Oh, so this is the last top, big massive cairn. And I've come across, back up actually, it's cold. I've come across King Kenny's cairn, which you'll have seen me going up before. And the really beautiful thing about these hills is they lie on the Highland boundary fault, which runs from roughly Stonehaven in the northeast right down to Arran, away down in the southwest. And because they're right on the boundary of the Highlands, so anything north and west is really the Highlands, and south and east is the lowlands. So at this point here, you're right in the boundary, and you get lovely views inland. I've been getting lovely views north to the Highlands, Ben Lors and these sort of hills. I just love the views down over Strathearn here, down towards Perth. You can see into Fife. You can see the Ochil Hills stretching as far as Stirling and beyond. It's just a fantastic place to walk. I absolutely love it, but I tell you what, it's cold, it's a northerly breeze, it would be an understatement. I'll see you in the next adventure. Stay safe out there, and yeah, we'll see you next Wednesday. Right, down we go. Woo!